Hello everyone, welcome to Simple Crochet channel. I'm so glad to be with you in this video. In this video we are going to introduce the first square with the first stitch of our crochet along project. I hope you like it. Of course, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks about the yarn, the measurement, the stitch, and I'm going to introduce this stitch with two different pattern here. This is the same stitch, but this is what it looks like here, and this is what it looks like here. So I'm going to show you all these with introducing how to read the chart and the pattern, of course. So let's start. As I told you before, I'm going to introduce 20 different stitches, a stitch every week, and I'm going to show you how you are going to read the pattern or the chart for this stitch. I have made this chart for you, and I'll explain it before I start and show you how you read any pattern that you want. To read the chart, you need to know some tips about it. These arrows here shows you the direction of the work, which means that the first row is going to start from here and go like this. Now, after doing the first row, you are going to do the second row like this, and then do the third row like this. Now, you see, this is the direction for the arrows. Now, another thing you need to know about the pattern or the chart, that this symbol or this shape here means chain, which means CH, abbreviated to it as CH. So whenever you come across these two letters here, CH, it means that you are going to chain. Now, you need to chain the number of the chains that is applied to the pattern, or the multiple of 2 plus 1 for this stitch, which means that whenever you need your size to be, you just need to add 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, and when you finish your size, just add another chain, which gives you the height for the row, and I'm going to show you. Another symbol that we have and we are going to use is this symbol. This symbol means the X symbol like this, or the plus shape, means single crochet and is abbreviated to as SC. So whenever you come across an SC symbol or SC abbreviation, you are going to do a single crochet. This is the shape that we are going to use, and this is the stitch that we are going to learn today, which means that 2 single crochet done together, single crochet 2 together, and is abbreviated to as SC2 together. Now, to make this stitch, you are going to insert your hook in this chain. Without finishing it, you are going to insert your hook in the second chain and do a single crochet, so you end up with 3 loops on your hook, and you just finish all these 3 loops together. So this is what it means. It means 2 single crochet together. Let's start doing the actual work. As you can see, I'm using medium size yarn like this. Now I'm going to start with the starting knot and start chaining multiple of 2 until I reach the desired length. But before chaining, I want to tell you something. The label of the yarn tells me that I need to use 3.5 millimeter hook. But as we are doing a textured stitch, I prefer using a 0.5 millimeter hook bigger than the yarn recommend. So it's easy for me to insert my hook more than one time in the same stitch. This is the first one. Another tip about the hook, I'm going to use 4.5 millimeter hook, which is half millimeter bigger than the one that I'm going to use with chaining. So my chain will be big enough for the first row, because when you do the first row, it tends to be smaller than the next rows. So I always use bigger hook to make the starting chain, the foundation chain, and then change my hook and use another smaller one. So this is the tip for you. I'm going to show you how you are going to hold the yarn and do the chain, because I knew that some of you are absolute beginners and I just wanted to go slow for you. Now with this hand, I'm going to move the yarn like this on my first finger. Now with these two fingers, I'm going to hold the other end of the yarn. With the hook facing me, I'm going to turn the hook, so I'm going to yarn over and just pull through the loop on the hook. This is how I chain. I'm going to show you again. Now I'm going to make an 8-inch square. So I need to chain the number of stitches that gives me only 7 inches, like this. I'm going to chain 26. Now I have chained 26 chains with the bigger hook. I'm going to show you how you are going to adjust the measure for this. With the measuring tape, I'm going to measure these chains. Now, another tip while we are working, when you measure your foundation chain, don't pull the yarn so tight, because you're not working with the yarn like this. You just leave it as it is, and don't do like this and measure it. Just try to keep it flat on your table or whatever you work on, and just measure. Now you can see that this chain measures only 7 inches, but I need to make my square 8. Here is a tip for you. If you want an 8-inch square, you only need to do a foundation chain with 7-inch only, because while working your rows, your stitches get wider, so it will give you this inch that you didn't do at the very beginning. So you need to bear in mind that whichever size that you want to make, you need to minus 1 inch to make your size. For example, if I want to make a 6-inch square, now I'm going to chain the number of stitches, multiple of 2, until I reach 5-inch here. So I started with 26 to have 7-inch foundation chain, and while working I will be showing you how it got bigger with working. Now I'm going to change my hook and use 4 millimeter and do the stitch. Now the pattern here says I'm going to chain 1. This is chain 1, which gives me the height for my row. For beginners, it's important to use a stitch marker to mark this stitch, because this is the stitch where you end your row, it marks the end and the beginning of your row. We're not going to work inside this stitch, but we're going to work in the next one. But it will help you to keep your edges straight. Now I'm going to make a single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and doing this, insert the hook, yarn over and pull through. Now you have 2 loops on the hook. Don't finish the single crochet, keep these two loops and insert the hook in the next chain and do another single. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all these 3 loops. This is 2 single crochet together. Now the chart says that I'm going to insert my hook in the same chain here and do a single crochet like this. This is the chain that I worked. I'm going to insert my hook, just pull the yarn. I have 2 loops, insert the hook in the next, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops together, and this is how it should look like. Now I'm going to continue working like this. Insert the hook in the same stitch here, pull through, insert my hook in the next one, pull through. I have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 like this, and continue doing this until the end of the row. So basically you are doing 2 stitches in the same chain. It's very easy, simple, and the use, you only need to know single crochet. Now I have reached the end of my row here, and I am left with only 1 chain. I'm going to do a single crochet 2 together like this, and to end my row I'm going to insert my hook in the same last chain here and do a single crochet, normal single crochet, which is insert my hook, yarn over and pull through. You have 2 loops, you are going to yarn over and pull through these 2 loops. This is like that. Finishing these last 2 single crochet together and doing a single crochet. Now we are going to start row 3. To make the 3rd row, you need to chain 1 and do 2 single together like the other row until reaching the end. You are going to do a single crochet in the last one like this. Now we are going to chain 1 and turn. After turning, you need to use the stitch marker to mark this stitch that you made here, or the chain that you made, so you end your row with it. Always use a stitch marker to mark the beginning of the row. It will help you to have straight edges. Now you need to know that your stitches are now look like this. It has 2 loops and look like V. Now we are going to work under these 2 loops here, because I have done here two samples of the stitch. You can see this is the stitch where I insert my hook in both loops of the chain. Now you get, this is a reversible stitch, look like this, and this is from the back or the front. So you just find these pops, the whole row pops up from the other one. This is the type of the stitch that I will be showing you working in both loops. Now I have made another sample, but I only worked with the back loop only, and also I'm going to show you this technique within the stitch. You can see this is the same stitch but on the back loop only. So this is the difference between both of them. You can see that. Now back to our work. As I told you, I'm going to insert my hook in both loops here. See? So this is the chain that I made, and I'm going to insert my hook, do a single, not finishing it, insert my hook in the second one, and do a single two together. Now continue doing this. Insert your hook in the same stitch in the next one and do single crochet, and so on until you reach the end of the row. Now I have reached the end of my row here, and I have only have one stitch here, and this is the one that I made with the stitch marker, chaining one for the height. Now I'm going to insert my hook in the same stitch in the next one and do single crochet together, two single crochet together, and I'm going to finish my row with a single crochet in the same last stitch here. I'm not going to insert my hook in the stitch that I made the mark with my marker in. So you need to know that to keep your work just straight and the edges straight. To start another row, this is the way we are going to work all our rows. Chain one, turn your work, mark your chain here, so you will end up in the stitch beside it. In this square I'm going to work one row with the both loops under the hook and another row with only the back loop, like this. Now to start row 4, I'm going to insert my hook in the back loop only of the stitch. I will try to make it clear. I have two loops here. You see? I'm going to insert my hook in this loop only, this one. like this and do a single crochet and insert my hook in the back loop of the second one, only the back loop, and do another single crochet and finish them together. You can see that this front loop makes shape like this here. I will continue doing this. Insert the hook in the same back loop, now another back loop, and finish them together, and so on until I reach the end. The same technique, but using only the back loop, gives you this shape. Of course, if you want to make your the whole square with only back loop or only with working under the both two loops, you're free to choose. I have made all these variation. This is the one with both loop under. I insert my hook under both loops and it looks like this. And this is the one where I insert my hook under the back loop only, all through the rows. So you can see that this front loop makes it pop a little bit more than the back loop only, the post loop. See? Of course, I will be posting all these pictures on the Facebook group, so you are free to decide what you need to do. Continue doing this in the back loop only until you reach the end. Now I have reached the end of my row. I'm going to show you how you finish. By now you already know. Insert my hook in the same one. This is where my stitch marker. I'm going to insert my hook in the last one, the last back loop, and take care because it's a little bit tricky. You want your work, all your work unified, so you just need to see the back loop only. And finish it, and finish my row with a single crochet in the same stitch, last one, not doing it in the chain which have the marker. Leave it only alone. Now chain one and work your stitches like this, and it should look like this. You can see it's very texture. This row here pops very hard. I don't know if you can see it. And this is how it should look like from the front. You can see this front loop. So I will continue doing rows like this. One row with both loop under, and one row with back loop only, like this. Now, before doing so, I wanted to tell you something. We started with 26 chains. Now, I need to do 26 rows, so I have my square will be unified and equal. For those who just don't know how to count the rows, you don't need to count. If you leave the stitch marker at the beginning of each row, you just need to count the stitch marker after you finish your 26 rows. Or you just need to, after doing some rows, you need to count the pops, the rows that is popped up like this, 1, 2. But this time you only count 13 rows. Another thing I want to show you is that we started with a 7-inch foundation chain. If I measure these stitches, it will definitely be more than 7 inches, like this. See? Almost 7.5 inches, like this. While working, your size will get wider, so it will reach 8-inch square. Now I have reached the end of my rows. Here I have made 26 rows, and I'm going to finish the last stitch with you. And don't forget, always do a single crochet in the last chain or the stitch. Another tip while working, you can just find that this shape is not square shape. It's like a small rectangular. I'm going to measure it with you and show you how you're going to adjust this square to be 8 inches in size. Now, I have here 7 inches. It's 6.7 actually. This is the length of the 26 rows. And this, I started with 7 and end with 7.5. Now, to adjust the rows, you only need to pull the work a little bit. You can see how unified and straight the edge is, because I chain one and use a stitch marker to mark my chain and never go in this chain. And you can see this is the size where I worked in both loops of the chain. You can see these little beads or dots in the stitch, but here is the other side. You can find this front loop on the stitch here, and if you can look just close, you will find it as a small flower. This, just concentrate on one stitch only, you will find it a small little flower. It looks beautiful and gives you a good texture. It's very easy to work with this stitch, and it's very lovely for a baby blanket. It gives you a very good texture. Now, to work, now of course you can leave the square as it is because it has straight edges, but I'm going to finish my square with a single crochet border like this. And to make the border, you only need to chain one and start doing 26 chain all around the side. So you are going to work 26, and here you are going to, and until you reach the corner here. Now, to work the edges, I'm going to work inside this edge here 3 single crochet in this chain. Now to make this corner here, and just do a single crochet in this chain with 2 loops, and another single crochet in the space here. So single crochet in the chain here with the 2 loops, and another single crochet in the chain, and so on until I reach the end. Here. So if you do, this is a good thing, because if you do just single crochet in one loop of the chain, it's gonna look like this and not unified at all. So you need to insert your hook in both loops here. So it will look like this. Now this is the last chain, and I'm going to do the last one. Now I've reached this corner where I'm going to do 3 single crochet, 1, 2 and 3, and start working another 26 in each chain here. This is the foundation chain that I started with, this, and we are going to work in this loop here. It should be 24 because I have already made these 3 single crochet in this corner. Now I have reached the corner here, and I'm going to work 3 single crochet, sorry, like this, and just do a single crochet in here and another single crochet in the space, and so on. A single crochet in here and between the stitches, and so on and so forth until you reach the corner and you do 3 double crochet. I will see you after I finish all my edges. Now I have reached the corner here where I did my 3 single crochet, and just do the last thing, a slip stitch like this, and just cut this yarn here. So this is how I finish my first square. It should look like this. Of course you are going to weave this end. This is how it should look like. It's a reversible stitch, by the way. You can use it either ways. This is the look of it from this side, and this is the look of it from the other side, like this. And I'm going to measure it one last time for you, so you can just be, here is an 8, almost 8. You can just stretch it a little bit. Don't worry if it's small, because you are going to stretch this and it will help you, like this, and like this. This is how it looks like. Little flowers in here. You can see this is the little flower. Now I hope you like this stitch and find it clear and easy to follow. and of course for beginners. If you do have any question, please write them down in the comment section below or in the Facebook group. I will be more than glad to answer all your questions. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video.